Hey, I'm Claire.
And I'm Janice.
And this is The X-Files, a podcast about breakups, broken hearts, and moving on.
We are breakup coaches here to help you beat your breakup,
Heal your broken heart,
and move on to an amazing, abundant life.
Welcome, everyone, to this week's episode, or one of this week's episodes of The X-Files. I'm like, what's my podcast called?
Oh, you know it.
Yeah, we know it. So welcome, everyone. Today, we are talking about breakup rituals.
Yeah, this is an exciting topic. I don't remember how it really came to the radar, but I'm excited that we're getting to it.
Yes, it's so fun. And we will talk about all of this, but rituals are so important for transitions, and breakups are certainly a transition at the very least. So we're excited to get into it. So let's dive in.
All right, sure. Thank you to everyone for being here. Let's do it. Let's talk about breakup rituals. So first of all, what is a ritual? We're going to start out scholarly here.
Yes.
Oxford Dictionary has the simplest definition. So wait, let me ask you this. When you were looking for a definition, were things just like all over the place?
Things were kind of all over the place. Like I went down a rabbit hole where they were like, like rituals allude to both the sacred and the profane, and like defining the sacred and the profane, and like all of this. And it was just like, oh my God, this is
who knew?
This is way too complex. Because as you can imagine, what looks like a ritual to the person inside the ritual may seem like meaningless to someone who doesn't understand the ritual or who is just observing it. And so they, in order to properly define that in a like watertight way, there's a lot of like nuance necessary. Certainly. However, I think for us, we're talking about like
not the profane.
We're not really talking about the profane.
We're talking about the person's experience who's inside it. So
exactly. Yeah.
Right, interesting.
Oh,
I love dictionaries. All right. So I'm serious. I'm on I think the Oxford Dictionary's daily word of the day.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm such a nerd. So, all right. They define ritual as a religious or solemn ceremony consisting of a series of actions performed according to a prescribed order. All right. We're going to make it a little more fun.
Yeah.
And also that, like we just barely said, that the definition of rituals is quite nebulous. Yeah. For our purposes, we'll be defining ritual as a series of actions and words that acknowledge meaning, symbols, and emotions. Nice work, girl. It might not make sense to people outside of the ritual. Totally fine. But it carries a deep meaning for the people who are inside of it.
Exactly.
Oh, so lovely. Yeah. So rituals are a way that you make the everyday sacred or significant. All right. Such as a breakup. I did a women's Jewish history course in college, and I don't remember the author, but they had an entire book of rituals from everything from waking up, going to the bathroom, cooking dinner. So it's a way to add meaning to your life. Yeah. Another way is to recognize and process transitions. So for instance, high school graduations, marriages, funerals. Every life event can be made ceremonious, including, of course, breakups.
Yes.
So doing a ritual for a breakup can be like planning a funeral. That's a great way to look at it. Yeah. It can also be a way of making an energetic cut from a person, or you could see it as a way to embrace your power. So it really just depends on what it is that you're trying to release or call in, a bunch of stuff, and we'll get into that.
Yeah. So rituals are important for healing. And I think this might be one of the reasons why breakups are so hard, is because we don't have a bunch of like socially normal breakup rituals. Like it's not like something like, oh, we just broke up, so I went and I did my breakup ritual. It's not like a thing that people typically do.
Or even recognize, like we talked about in the how to ask for help and several other times. I mean, you're not even really allowed, in quotes, to take time off work. I mean, we need, I think that this is a opportunity for improvement in our society.
Yeah, it totally is. A very famous psychologist, Esther Perel, she actually spoke about rituals for breakups on her Instagram, like literally last week. It was perfect timing. We already planned this episode and I was like, what? So she said in that content, so much ritualized behaviors and practices around marriage and around engagement, all the things people do to mark beginnings. And she said, I find that endings are so legalistic, so cold, and really there's a need to make them much more meaningful. So the thing is that like rituals help us understand that, as she says, while the relationship may be over, we are not over, So it's kind of like we said with a funeral earlier, you're not like grieving the person as though they've died, but the third party, the we, the us that has died. So you're grieving like this third entity that's separate from you and separate from that person that you formed together. So she goes on to say that rituals can help bring closure and prepares you for knowing that life goes on. There's going to be other loves and that you can have faith in them. She talks about how there's kind of this ritual of giving the ex's stuff back. So someone's been staying over at your house, maybe they have like a drawer or they've just left things, and so you can like ritualize giving back the parts of that person that they left them, symbolically left. So she went on to like describe some like breakup ritual ideas. So, if you're going through a divorce, going to where you got married with that person and
That's
saying
intense.
Goodbye. Yeah, she said, some people can do this together as a way to mourn the end of the relationship together. It really depends on the situation.
Totally. A couple years back, there was, I think, a YouTube video that went semi-viral of a couple who was getting divorced, and they did, a divorce ceremony where their friends were in the audience and they went out into a grove, and I was like, this is such a no for me. This just feels like the most awkward, painful thing in the world. But some people were like, hell yes, we need to, normalize stuff like this. And completely, like, it is different for everyone, and that is fine.
Yeah, I think especially if you're breaking up because you've both realized that it's just time for the next chapter. And you don't have like this like wounding from this person, then I think that can be beautiful. But a lot of times breakups happen because someone fucked up.
I mean, to not have wounding or emotion, I don't know. To me, it just felt that I just thought like this is way too intense for me, but obviously for them it wasn't. So
yeah, exactly. So that's not typically what people are dealing with when they come to Janice or I. So you can go to where you get married and say goodbye in ceremony to that place of beginning. You can go on your favorite drive to kind of say goodbye to this person. You can turn, quote, their drawer into a place to keep stuff that's really important to you. So like reclaiming that area and associating positive things with that space. So she also talked about the importance of ritual for bringing in companionship and connections. Because rituals don't have to be just alone. You can bring your support system into play as well. She said that a friend of hers went through a breakup wrote a letter to her friends and invited them to a breakup party. And then in person, she told the story of what happened. Instead of having to repeat it over and over and over again on separate occasions, she did it all at once to all of the people who mattered.
Gotcha.
Which I think is nice because there's not like this risk of like just bringing it up every time. So it's like it gets a little further away from you, and then you have to bring it back to tell the story again over and over again. Whereas this, she told her friends what happened all at once, and then they went around the room and her friends shared their stories of breakups and finding love again and read poems and things like that. And it was a way to like make the experience common and normalized. And just like remind you that you will survive this.
Yeah, I love this. And I've always thought that I would somehow incorporate it into my breakup coaching in the future. I'd say if there's anyone listening who is wanting to do this, and invite Claire and I to
yeah, we'll come.
If you're going to do a Zoom breakup party, I would be honored to be invited.
Yeah.
And also, I just think it's so great. People have heard me talk about my gals' Valentine's parties. And I, also didn't run this past you, but I think it would be so cool to have a listener on who has planned a divorce party or a breakup party or a separation party. I think that would be really fun. Please DM us. I really want to hear about this. Yes. This would be really fun to chat about. So if you've done it, well done, and let me know, please.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of ways that you can perform a ritual. So, we'll talk more about creating your own, but there are some that are kind of fairly well known, and we'll just go through those first.
Well, so and also breakup ritual, any ritual can, if you're not used to incorporating ritual into your life, it can involve lots, and it can get complicated if you see what some other people who are doing it for years do. And so I think we're sharing some rather simple ideas to get started.
Yeah, you can definitely make this much more complex. You can make it witchy, you can burn your candles, so we're just sharing kind of like an entry point if this is a totally new concept for you. So the first is visualization. And for visualization, I love cord cutting meditations. There's one on, there's so many on Insight Timer. It's like one of our favorite apps. But I also have one on Insight Timer.
Claire,
if you want to go look find it.
Yes. I think it's so cool that you've got a meditation on there.
Yeah. It was really fun to record, and like I felt like I needed to make one because I had been using it like myself and using other people's cord cutting meditations because it does help me visualize things if I have the audio track in the background kind of directing my thoughts because otherwise I get way too all over the place.
That's a great tip for anyone who wants to get into meditation, is starting with guided can help you be able to go to that place
exactly easier. So cord cutting meditations are fairly common in both secular and spiritual traditions. If you're interested in quantum physics and energy work, you've probably heard that when you make a relationship with someone, whether it's friends, family, lovers, someone you see regularly, or even someone you just like pass by and you just kind of like, you can form a slight connection with someone.
True.
And that like that energetic cord can form between the two of you. So when a relationship ends, that feeling of still being connected with someone can remain. And cord cutting is a way to sever that energetic tie over time. With strong relationships, you generally need to do a cord cutting meditation more than once to really feel that severing. And even if you're totally a skeptic and this is like way too woo-woo for you, just visualizing like actually cutting the the mental tie between you and another person can be really helpful. So
yes.
Yeah, you don't have to be like quantum mechanics. Oh,
No, definitely don't. But I love
yeah.
that, you and us, enjoy bringing the science into it. But.
Yeah. So yeah, and although there's lots of ways to cut cords, journaling, visualization is a way to do that as well. So Insight Timer, we just mentioned, they have so many cord cutting practices. Just look up cord cutting and choose one that seems to speak to you.
Or look
and
up
try it
Claire
out.
Lofthouse.
Or try mine.
Right there.
So basically, in your mind's eye, you get into like a calm meditative state. You get in that headspace, and then you visualize the individual in front of you that you want to cut the cord with. And you also have scissors, so you visualize those scissors. You don't need actual scissors, but you just go ahead and like connect with them and be like, oh, this is the person that I want to cut the cord with. You see that energetic cord that connects you with the other person, and don't question whatever comes up. Like maybe it's a certain color, maybe there's more than one cord. Just whatever comes up, just go with it. There's no wrong way to like see this. And now with the intention of severing that link between you two, go ahead and use those visualized scissors and cut the cord between you, and watch as like kind of the cord like snaps back into you and leaves like no trace. And same with the other person, and just like take a moment to thank them for the role that they played in your life, and feel how it feels to no longer be connected to that person. And as you're ready, come out of it. So yeah, that's a very quick explanation. Definitely the visualizations guide you through it a lot more gently. So
yeah, there's a lot of great meditations for this. And while I think that's great, there are also people who can guide you through this. That's how I did it after my divorce, which I'm going to talk more about. So I haven't started putting together a current list of referrals for this, though it's, always on my to-do list. So if you're in any, wellness groups, if you asked for, a hypnotherapist who specializes in cord cutting, this can be a tricky, dynamic, intense experience. So, that's also another way to do it is, having someone hold space for you while they walk you through it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, highly recommended on my part as well. So, of course, we're coming back to journaling. What do you know? And there are a couple ways that you can use journaling in a breakup ritual. It can be one aspect of a longer ritual, and we will talk about how to create these later. So, the first thing to do if you want to create, or if you want to use journaling in a ritual, would be to create the space. And that's an important part of many rituals. I think it's really good that you have your environment set up to be conducive to whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. So, whatever, dimmed lights, music, candles, etc. So then you can use your journal to write your breakup story, which we actually talked about on our very last episode. Why have they moved on so fast? I will include it here as well, however. So you could write, I'm angry that. Then I'm hurt because. What I wish you knew was. I deserve more because. I am moving on now because. My wish for you is. My hope for me is. So I know that you had suggested this, that if, you should burn it after you do it as part of a ritual. So yes, in some cases, I would say no in this one, because I think that there's a lot in this exercise that is about looking forward to all the positive things that you're calling in. And so for this one, I don't think that it's advisable to then burn it. All right.
Yeah, because you don't want to destroy your future.
Right. Yeah, there's nothing really to burn there. But you know what? Different for everyone. So what I might suggest to do after is adding something to the ritual that symbolizes a new chapter or a new beginning. So some ideas that I quickly came up with are, if you use an altar, as I do, you might want to buy a new stone for your altar that symbolizes whatever it is that you're calling in, and then adding it during the ritual. You could go online during your ritual and buy your breakup trophy that we've talked about, you know, symbolizing how great you've been doing with your breakup. Or at the end of this, you might create a ritual or add to your ritual by gathering up all of your ex's things. So these are just suggestions. Do what feels right.
Yeah.
Another journaling exercise that you can do if you do want to add a fire element to your ritual, is using a journal exercise or a journal prompt that helps you release anger and resentment, such as what I suggested in my journaling episode. What I never got to tell you was. All right. So if you use a prompt that promotes or that invokes fiery emotions, I would say to burn these after, because you're also trying to release the resentment and the anger. And so burning it is, I think, can be a really cool way to do that.
Yeah.
Release it into the flames, watch it go up, and you might find that you really feel it physically release from your system.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, especially if the relationship wasn't the best and you're having trouble, like, as you're healing, remembering that it actually wasn't that good, and you're very much putting your ex on a pedestal and stuff. Writing a list of every single thing, big or small, that they did that was hurtful to you or that you just didn't like about them can be really helpful. And for that, like, you can keep that while you're needing that reminder.
Yes. Yeah.
And then when you feel like you've gotten to a place where you're like, I don't think I need that reminder anymore, you can then burn it.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great
to like
idea
really
as well.
release that. And so it's like very much Phoenix from the ashes, lots of metaphors.
Yes. Oh yeah, I'm a big Phoenix person. Yeah, that's beautiful. So
Yeah. Awesome. So another thing that can be very painful in breakups are the places that you shared together. So bringing those into rituals as a way to like cleanse the place of all that emotional charge can also be very helpful. So this could be, the places you used to go together. It's like you had the place down the street that was like, quote, your spot. Bring that into a ritual and be like, all right, we're going to go. I'm going to bring some friends. We're going to make new positive memories in these places to overwrite those old ones that I shared with my ex in this place. You can make it like that. There's also your house. That's a place that you probably share a lot of memories with your ex. So rearranging your house as part of a ritual to like make it a new chapter and bring to a close the chapter that person was there. So those are some ideas.
And I know, Claire, you're a big fan of getting the new bedding and the new sheets.
Yeah,
So,
get new sheets.
What though makes these things rituals rather than just the fact that you're doing it is, the intention that you set around it. So, for instance, when I got divorced, I actually certainly even went on dates immediately to the places that my ex and I would frequent, but I wouldn't have said it was a ritual because I didn't have any intention surrounding it. Whereas you could tell your girlfriends, I want to reclaim this space. This is my intention. Will you, support me, or will you do this with me? Let's just go and have a good time. But it's like I keep saying, the intention that you set around it, just like if you were to get new sheets, you might want to light a candle while I always wash sheets before I use them, but wash them and then put them on your bed for the first time and play a song or whatever it is that's going to make this sacred and special to you.
Exactly. Yeah. And it doesn't have to make sense from the outside. It's what is, what brings meaning to you. So,
absolutely.
yeah.
And then community. So what are some other things that you can do with the people in your circle? Like we said earlier, you can have a party. I think this is such a cool idea. If I had a breakup in the future, I'd probably do this. I like what you wrote here. It's like a birthday party for singlehood.
Woo!
Yeah,
Born
so cool.
again.
Yeah, and I would say if you were to do this, like go nuts, get it catered, get the champagne, really enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Whatever that means for you.
Yeah, because otherwise it's like, oh, you turn 21, you have a big party, you get married, you have a big party.
Yeah,
You have a
totally.
kid, there's a big party. But there's nothing for like becoming single again. So you might as well break up like the monotony of like the rest of your life with as many parties as you can, right?
Yeah, completely. I mean, I'm moving right in the process of moving now, and I've already thought of a few different rituals that I would like to use for this reason. No one, I can't, you don't have a moving shower or parties or and it's significant for me, so I have started to create some rituals or think about what I want to do. Because you know what, life should be fun and exciting.
Exactly. Let's celebrate
this is a transition
moments.
yeah. So another thing you can do is have a burning ceremony with your friends. I've done this. I actually had my first one when I was in high school.
Wow.
When I think I was actually in 9th grade. I had gone through a couple different breakups, and one of my friends and I, decided I really wanted to let it go, and burned a bunch of stuff in her backyard.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, very cool idea. You can do it no matter how old you are. I think something like taking a hike with a friend can be, you can incorporate ritual into that.
Nature is so powerful. It's such a healer. So
there's a lot of ways that you could use nature and hikes for breakup rituals, I think. And then something that I thought of is the friendship compliments ritual that I discussed in the Valentine's Day episode, where you all get together, everyone gets a piece of paper and a pen, and then you write everyone's name at the top, and then you take turns writing your favorite thing about that person, and then you pass it, and everyone does it. And so at the end, you have this list of really lovely things from your friends.
Oh,
I think that could be a really lovely thing to incorporate into a breakup party or ritual with people.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be like in tears for sure doing
Some
that.
people have when I've done this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, oh my God.
Tears though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Just emotions.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we hope that you've liked all our ideas so far, but guess what? We're not finishing up. We're just taking a quick break. All right. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back.
So now you've got the basics, right?
Yeah. We've introduced the idea of rituals. We've gone over some like general ideas that people typically use for rituals. But I think the most important thing, at least for me with rituals, is to personalize them and make them in a way that's meaningful for you. So we just wanted to speak briefly on how to create your own ritual. So, some things to ask yourself when you're grieving the end of a relationship is, think about what is important to you from that relationship. Is it like a thing? Like, did they gift you something that has a lot of meaning? Was it a place that you would go together? Was it a certain song? What was important to you in terms of that relationship? What was of shared importance? Like, what was something that you both really had a lot of energy attached to? Where do you feel yourself holding on? Like gripping.
And this is something to fill into. There's no easy answer to this. I mean, it might be coming to you right now, but this might be something that you will think about all week long. Exactly. Before you really decide.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to talk about our personal experience later, but that was definitely the case for me. Like I spent a couple months thinking about what I wanted to be the ritual, so so let this sink in. And there's no, you can do lots of rituals at lots of times. You don't have to do it all in one and be like, nope, I can't do that again because I had to have released them by now.
Incorporating ritual into your life can just add so much. And no, this is not a one-shot thing. There are so many reasons and ways to do this. So, I mean, and yes, like you've said a couple of times, you can even do multiple breakup rituals depending on what you're going through at the time, etc.
Exactly. Yeah, because there are phases. So, you know, what do you have that makes you think of them? Is it a certain street you drive down? Is it like a mug you have at your house? Maybe you have a painting or something, like got something at a garage sale together or something. You know, incorporate the things that have the most emotional charge around them, be them places, things, songs, etc. So, yeah.
Great. And I always suggest that you start with what the purpose of the ritual is and then build from there. So very, very similar, but it's more, I think, about the intention is what I'm saying. So some examples could be the ritual is for, or what I want to do is release my ex, close this chapter of my life, welcome in a new future, let go of resentment, clear this person from my present life, love myself more. And then once you set this, it'll inform a lot of the different parts of the ritual moving forward.
Yeah, totally. Intention is so big. You know, just from that list, there are different aspects of a breakup acknowledged, you know, both the wanting to accept like newness into your life and release the old, you know, all of those things. So yeah, you will see how we did this in our personal experiences with breakups. So my personal experience.
Yeah, I'm like really excited to get into this. I want to hear all about it, girl.
Yeah. So, like I said, I had months before I incorporated ritual into my breakup. Like this, I'm going to talk about the breakup with Dumpster Fire. If you've listened to our other episodes, you'll have heard of him before. So
he's becoming quite a character, quite a mysterious.
Oh, yeah, that definitely fits. Yeah, that's exactly how he was in a relationship.
A mysterious character?
He is a character.
Right. Not the worst thing, but
no, totally. So yeah. So yeah, this was definitely my hardest, I think, breakup to get over. So it took me months before I was ready for this point. And it was very much like I had ideas coming to me during those months. And it was just like one day I was like, today's the day.
Yes.
You know, so it's okay to kind of wait for that moment. You know, especially with rituals, intention is so important. So you have to be there mentally.
Yeah.
You can't be like, I'm going to pretend I'm okay with releasing this person. So sorry.
No, I interrupted you. We're riffing. Would you call this riffing?
Yeah.
So what I want to say is what you just said hit me so hard because you don't have to do it at a certain time. No ritual. One example being when the new year hit this past year, at first, I was so revved up about doing my goals, my vision board, having the New Year ritual. And when it got to it, it was such a no for me. Oh my God, I didn't do it until February because every time I thought I should do this, it's 2021, it's January. I was not energetic about it at all. And then sometime it might have even been late February. All of a sudden, I felt like I'd settled into the year and it hit me like it is time.
It's time.
I did it. And I set wonderful goals and intentions and I was fired up about it. But, you know, it was well into the new year, but you got to go with what intuitively feels right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I mean, what are you really going to accomplish? if it's forced.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's kind of like positive affirmations. Like you need to do something that does align with where you're currently at. So like your affirmation may be, I'm learning how to let go of this person. And that's where you are. So you can't force a ritual where you're like, I'm fully releasing this person. If that voice inside is like, no, 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 no. Like not yet.
Yep, completely. You're right.
Yeah.
And that's a good affirmation for a breakup.
Yeah. Awesome. So so after many months, I did destroy the journals where I had poured my heart and confusion into as I grieved, just like working out all of those like questions that were left. And I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment with a patio that like was definitely like going to be a fire hazard if I burnt anything out there. And I didn't want to go and do it in public at the beach or something in like a barbecue grill, because that was like the other option.
Imagine if you saw someone out there
just like
alone.
Tears, burning journals at the beach.
If someone out there if that feels good to you, that's fine.
Do it.
I think that would be interesting to witness.
I needed a little bit more privacy, basically. And I didn't want to like go at night and like get arrested or something. Like I was definitely overthinking it. So
gotcha.
I ended up, I did my Googs. I Googled and another way to destroy journals is to drown them instead of burn them. So I drowned my journals. I left them overnight in a bucket of water, and the next morning I woke up and I ripped them to shreds because they were so soggy and the ink had all run, and it basically I like basically turned them into a pulp, and then I threw the pulp away.
Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah, so if you're worried about burning your house down, that is an alternative.
It's a valid concern.
Yeah, safety first with everything.
Yeah, like, with rituals, there are lots of fireproof, containers and bowls that you can buy that are meant for housecraft. However, it would be like a page would be safe in these things, not a journal.
Not a journal.
No.
Yeah. So I did burn something else because the journals was too much for inside, but I ended up like I said, he was a character. He gave me a stack of 50 numbered letters at one point, and anytime some life event happened, he'd be like, oh, read letter number 14, and I'd be like, you got a new car, congratulations. Like,
I don't understand. So at one time he gave you a stack of 50 letters.
Yeah.
And each letter was what?
Each letter had like a line or two in it. Uh-huh. And so if something happened, so say like one example is I got a new car. He was like, oh, read letter number 14. And I opened letter number 14. And I was like, congratulations, you got a new car. Like,
how did he know you were going to get a car?
He just applied to like any circumstance. He just assumed that sometime in the future I would get a car.
Oh my God. So they were sealed envelopes with letters, and you were meant to open them when he said to.
Yeah.
Oh my! I've never heard of this.
Yeah, no, it was very quirky.
No, that's lovely in so many ways. I've just never heard of it.
Yeah.
How long did it?
Like, I obviously before the end of the relationship didn't have all of them open, so I still had this stack of like mystery letters that I was keeping from him.
This is wild. Okay.
Yeah. So this is what I mean. He was a character.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I loved it at the time. So
it's really cool on so many levels.
Yeah. So I still had those, and so those I ended up when the day came when I was like, today's the day. Mm-hmm. I opened all of the letters, I accumulated the little strips of paper, and I burnt the little strips of paper on my stove. I turned the thing on, like the ventilator on high, and one at a time I burnt them controlled.
Yeah, there are safe ways to do it.
Yeah. So, and they were little slips of paper, so it wasn't like this out of control like fire. But yeah, so for that it was like very cathartic to burn those like little strips of paper that were not just metaphorically but like literally about things that could have happened in the future, because they were all letters meant for future times.
Like,
so it was a very meaningful like
we're together
thing.
for the long haul. Can you give me an example? Was there anything that you were surprised by or that was more extreme than others as far as what he had predicted?
Oh gosh. Some of them were quite sad. Like one of them was um like I'm on my deathbed and I'm so glad that we had our lives together.
Oh my
Like they were
God.
meant to be like lifetime letters.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I support the burning. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been tough.
It was it was definitely tough. I think that puts into perspective like how meaningful the relationship was at the time to both of us.
Yeah.
And brings us back to that point of like someone can truly mean the things they say in a relationship and have all of the intention to be with you forever and change their mind.
Yep.
You know?
Of course. Yeah. That is a
Yeah.
very good example.
Yeah.
That's really personal. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, there is a lot that I don't share, but like this I felt was important because there's so many things that people go through that they think, just like super unique situations like that where you're like, no one could possibly understand how meaningful this person was to me because, we had this super unique thing. And I think it's important to show that like every relationship has, that was a ritual in a relationship, in a way was having those letters, and so, just showing that like, hey, you know, as sucky as that sounds, but like you weren't special. Like, and I twist it as in everyone's special.
Yeah.
Everyone has something beautiful between the two of them that sometimes isn't enough. So
or meant to last forever.
Yeah, exactly. So burning those letters was huge, and there's just something powerful in something literally not existing anymore. Even if I just threw away that stack of letters, like they would have just gone and been whole in a landfill for 10 years or something until they just slowly crumbled. Whereas if I burnt them, they chemically did not have their same form anymore. So that was really cool.
Some people might just want to throw something away, and that might be significant too. Like, I'm just putting it in the dumpster, and that's that.
Totally, exactly. So
but not the main point, but one point is get it out of your sphere.
So that was an example of a common breakup ritual. Burning journals and letters, or drowning journals is like less common, but destroying them nevertheless. But the biggest ritual that I created was with his keys. So I had kept his house key, and the key of the lock that we put on the fence above the ocean to celebrate our love, at the beginning of the relationship, whatever. But I kept whatever.
No, it's good to also create rituals around relationships as well.
Exactly. And that was a very sweet moment. So I had those keys on my car keys, through the relationship, through the breakup, through the months of trying to stay friends, and through the months of when we were no longer in contact. And especially after contact broke up, I was particularly aware of like the presence of those keys as I drove to and from work. I kept them because, I think our contact broke off because he was really struggling with his mental health. And so I had a lot of like worry about him. Trigger warning, suicide.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, trigger warning, suicide. Yeah, so if that's a thing for you, maybe fast forward probably maybe 5 minutes, would you
Right.
say? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
So you've had time. So he was really spiraling into depression when we cut off contact. He was basically nocturnal, was just playing video games, he wasn't working, leave the house like once a week for groceries. So he was ex-military and one of the few of his unit who had not committed suicide. So it was definitely like a cause for concern for me. And having that key was like both a hope that I could always check on him if I chose to, but also fear of what I would find if I did. And even though we weren't talking anymore and I knew like, hey, it's not my responsibility to make sure that this person's okay anymore, those keys were so meaningful for that reason. So yeah, I ended up trying to, in my day of ritual, the day that I woke up, I burnt the things, I drowned the journals, whatever. I ended up trying to go and unlock the lock on the fence. I was like, I'm gonna remove the lock as part of my goodbye ritual.
Oh, but he was still living there?
No, I mean, so there was a lock on a fence. It was not at his place.
Okay. Where was it?
It was above the ocean at a park.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I see.
Yeah, so I had 2 keys.
Okay.
Yeah, so we put the lock there. It was like our relationship, and so I was like, oh, I'll go unlock
I know exactly
it.
what you're talking about. Oh, right. Okay, so
yeah, to like signify the end of the connection,
Right. Yes. So not everyone might be familiar with this though. So if you go to certain oceans or rivers or lakes, you might see locks on the fences where couples will go and put a lock symbolizing their love. It might have their initials and they have the locks to it. And so they put it there as like permanent, symbolizing the permanence of the relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it turns out that that's, unless you have bolt cutters, is quite permanent because it was rusted through and I could not get it to unlock. I'm just standing there like there's like joggers passing me and I'm like, don't mind me, this is my fucking lock, leave me alone.
And you're in public.
I know. Yeah,
another thing interesting to see.
Yeah, it was not happening. I eventually was like, all right, I'm gonna leave the lock for now. So I couldn't unlock the lock. And so I was like, all right, what am I going to do with these keys? And so I knew I had to make a ritual out of releasing the keys. I could no longer feel responsible for his mental health or for checking on him. And the keys symbolized my ability to do so. So I came up with the plan that was a nod to a few things that were important to me and that had been shared with him. So like number one was like my beloved Santa Barbara mountains. They were a huge, huge part of the years that I spent there. And there was one spot, as one does, that Dumpster Fire and I used to go and watch the sunset at. And it was also special to him personally, but that was the place that I chose to say goodbye, basically, to the keys. And I stood there for like literally what felt like forever with the keys in my hand, like ready to throw them, but I like couldn't make myself do it. And I'm like, I finally, was able to throw them. And as soon as they left my hand was just this huge weight off of my chest. And I just remember like slow motion watching them fly and like twinkle in the sunlight and like go off the edge and me being like,
oh my God.
Yeah. So it was just this huge pressure on my chest. And I think, there's something symbolic about throwing a key because keys are very symbolic and meaningful. But I think the most important thing was that they were so meaningful to me and my connection with him that including those in a ritual was the key for me.
Amazing. That's amazing. And you said that you felt relief immediately?
Yeah, it was pretty much immediate. Yeah, watching them fly away from me. And it's like definitely not healing as linear or anything, but it lightened that pressure of feeling like I was somehow responsible for making sure that he was going to be okay. And every time I chose not to use the keys to check on him was like a big deal. And it's not like you need a key to really check on him. Like you can just like knock on the door and stuff, but it was still just like, you know, during the relationship, it was just like I'd come over and just let myself in, and that was just the way things had been. So yeah.
Well, and having your partner's keys is often a ritual in and of itself for people, or it signifies that, you know, the relationship is getting, you know, to the next level. So yes, I think key related rituals wonderful for a breakup. What a beautiful story. Thank you again for sharing.
Yeah, I know. I'm like just sharing so much personal stuff this episode, but I think it related to this episode, and so I was like, you know, these are things I would have shared in previous episodes if they had come up, but you know,
well, I think it's going to help a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. Thank you again. So my experiences are not quite as intense. So my breakup experiences have been as intense, but my ritual experiences haven't, as they aren't as detailed as yours, but I want to share what I've done. So first of all is I first became acquainted or familiar with cord cutting after my divorce. And I'm actually telling some of these not in order, but that's fine. So
no one knows.
Yeah, well, they do now. Well, it'll come out. You'll see what I mean. So I did really well with my divorce, as many listeners know, but then I made what I consider a mistake for me, which is getting reconnected with him after I healed. It was for me a step backward in that nothing had really changed. We, you know, still weren't going to be together, and it was incredibly painful for me to like have rebonded with him and then, you know, decided that still it's not going to work out, and it was really excruciating. So I had a friend in my community who does hypnotherapy, including cord cutting. So I reached out to her and I told her the situation, and we did a session together, and it was so amazing. So I was also in the stage at this time of living with some family. They didn't really know what was going on, but I just said, you know, for the next, I think 2 hours, I just need to be left alone. And so first I spent time on my own, kind of thinking about what I wanted this to be for myself. And then at this time, the session took place by Skype. And so I was able to, you know, put the laptop, you know, kind of away from myself and get comfortable. And this woman was incredibly talented and amazing at what she did. And so first, you know, she asked questions about what it is I want to release, what the situation was. She even asked, you know, how intimate we had been during this time, you know, different specifics about the circumstances. And then, you know, she kind of fills into it. And then she led me through a session. And I also felt in this case with cord cutting that the release and the relief was immediate in my case. I only had to do it once. And for whatever reason, you know, maybe it was that I did it with someone, maybe I was ready, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So the experience was actually so significant that I had the people around me telling me that I physically looked different.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I highly recommend cord cutting, and also, you know, taking it very seriously and allowing yourself to release it. Yeah, I think with some of these things, you might in the back of your mind not fully have the intention to do it. And for me, I really needed to, and I was extremely dedicated to the process.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one. And then, so now I'm backtracking. When the divorce had been final, which was before this, Janice, what are you doing to yourself? Okay,
time isn't linear. What?
I know. So on the day that the divorce had been finalized, I was actually doing a short stint living in Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I was already into ritual by this point. And so when I got the email saying that everything was finalized, it's very hard to get that news. Really, it really weighs heavy on you getting the final notice of it. So I really thought to myself, I need to stop work and I really need to, do something for myself to welcome in this new future. I didn't want to just sit around. I didn't want to try and push through the day.
Yeah.
So, I should have looked it up, but damn it. There's a really cool restaurant in Santa Cruz that is right on the water. And that I've kind of had a lifelong history of going to, like when we would visit my grandma or when I would go there for spring break. And it's fancy and it's gorgeous. And I just decided I'm just going to go and I'm going to buy myself dinner. I'm going to sit outside. I'm going to have a nice drink. I'm just going to really, really spoil myself. I'm going to let this sink in. And I felt like there was something missing with my ex in that he had a hard time often just enjoying life. And, he kind of always wanting to like get to the next thing and wrap things up and not really take his time. And so I thought, I just want to do something that's just fully indulgent and that I don't have anything else that I need to do because, like now I'm in charge. Because that was a frustration for me in the relationship.
Yeah.
I know sometimes we'd go camping and would get up and he'd just want to like leave right away or just little things where I'm just like, can we just enjoy this? Like taking road trips and just wanting to get there rather than stopping along the way.
Oh my gosh. That's something I struggle with. And it was compounded like 100 times with my ex-fiance because he did the same thing. And we'd go on road trips. Like we went to Sedona. We were going to spend 3 days.
That's where we camped.
We were like 12 hours in. We're like, I'd rather just be home. And we left the next day. We cut it short by like 2 days because neither of us was comfortable being in the moment without something to do. And that was
interesting. That's a lot how he was. And I have always been kind of just, I don't know, a lover of life or wanting to have experiences. Yeah. And so, I think, and I did go to this restaurant with him many times and I I wasn't really, it was really hard with him to just kind of sink into the moment and look out into the ocean and enjoy a drink. And so I did that and it was really nice. I had already been comfortable going out to eat myself. It's just something I've always been able to do. But this really did just start kind of a thing for me of the solo date nights like I often talk about. And then on my way home, I stopped and I got some type of fancy like peach champagne or something. So my alcohol preferences have changed dramatically since then. I'm not sure I would really enjoy peach champagne now, but I got a bottle.
Like a Bellini or like flavored champagne.
Something sparkly and peachy that came in a bottle. I mean, this was quite a while, but a while ago. And I just got home and I don't remember what I did then, but I just thought, I'm just going to celebrate / let this sink in / spoil myself.
Yeah.
And this was all things that, I planned out ahead of time to, recognize this transition.
Yeah.
So that was too related to my divorce. Yeah. Positive memories now that I have of that time. So that's that's a good way to also think of it is now when I look back on getting the divorce papers or the finalization of the divorce, not the divorce papers. I now have this positive association with it.
Yeah.
And then, so this is not exactly a breakup ritual, but the third thing I wanted to mention was something I've talked about already on the show, but I did a ritual about 1.5 years ago to release someone who I had dated / been involved with. Things didn't go down really in a way that I'm still not, still not fully happy with. But
that's okay.
Yeah. So, I hadn't thought about it for a while, but for whatever reason, after I really got settled here in Denver and was, thinking about my life and, things were really getting established I started thinking about this, how things had gone down with this man, really to the point that I was really starting to feel anger over not addressing it in a way I would have liked. All the things we're always talking about as far as getting closure.
Yeah.
And I created a ritual where I lit a black candle and created the space. I clean first whenever I do rituals in my home. And then I have a specific playlist that I use for rituals that I put on. And then I did do the letter and got really specific and, kind of nasty, very angry, and just let it all out. I know at some points, my pen was actually like going through the paper because, I was cursing and saying,
mad.
Fuck you. Yeah.
And it's important to really lean into that. You're doing this to release all those fucking chaotic thoughts that you're having. Don't pull your punches, really express it. Even the things you're like, yeah, I think that, but I don't really think that, because that would be way too intense, or that would be crazy,
I mean, this is your side of things. Don't worry about the backstory.
You don't have to acknowledge that you might be wrong. You're just letting like your inner child have a fucking tantrum.
Yes, exactly. Yes, there's two sides to everything. Most things. But fine, that's fucking great. This is not about that. This is about the universe hearing your anger. And wow. So in this case, for whatever reason, I didn't want to burn it, but I did rip it out and folded it up and like stuck it in the back of my journal. And in this case also, the relief was quite immediate. I noticed about a week later that I had barely thought about it, whereas before I'd been thinking about it all the time. And by the end of the year, it was still like tucked into this back pocket of my journal, and it was totally in the past.
Yeah, it was neutral. I love it. Yeah. So those are our personal stories about breakup rituals. And that brings our episode content to a close for this section, because next we have Breakup Ballads. Toxic or empowering. Yay. And so this week I got to choose the music, and so I picked this song based on the topic of letting go of someone.
Very cool.
And I think, that's important for rituals to do their thing, is that you have to be to the point where you're like, I need to let go. I want to let go. I'm ready to let go. You have to be to that point to let the ritual do its thing. And so this is Wouldn't Come Back by Trousdale.
Such a beautiful song. I love this song so much.
It is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. So I'm just gonna zoom out so I can see my comments.
I have added this song to the X-Files playlist, It's Okay to Grieve. So if anyone wants to go and listen, I've added this there.
Yeah, so it's so beautiful. So I mean, we have some things that are highlighted, but I'll do something we haven't highlighted yet. But
I mean, we can read the whole thing. It's a short one.
Yeah. Okay. So it starts off, in matters of the heart, my hands are tied, my sleeves are torn. I gave you all I have to give. You always wanted more. Slowly we grow apart, closer to who we are.
Yeah, so I like this way of starting out the song because it's just such a realistic, mature way to look back at a relationship.
Yeah, just like, her hands are tied, she's kind of stuck. Like she can't do anymore for the situation, and her sleeves are torn, showing, she has tried. She's done a lot, and like sleeves being torn, it's like like you've been like crawling.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
Yeah, exactly. So that's beautiful. I gave you all I have to give, you always wanted more. I feel like that's kind of a cliche. We don't have to like explore too much.
Yeah, I know a lot of people feel that way in relationships.
Yeah. But slowly we grow apart closer to who we are. So this is like refinding yourself after a relationship where you felt like you were a different person almost. So
yeah, which can happen. Yeah, big fan.
Yeah.
All right. Baby, if I keep running to you, I'll be running till my feet turn black, till my lungs collapse and I wouldn't come back. I can't give another year to you. Another second's gonna drive me mad. And I won't do that because I wouldn't come back. I wouldn't come back.
Ooh, it's so good. Yeah.
So I really liked this because I think that it is a very healthy way, and just one way to say that the relationship has reached its expiration date.
Yeah. And that, that moment when you finally choose to give up, if I keep running to you. So she's been running to him and she's realizing it's destroying her. And, in a relationship, like we romanticize this, like chasing someone who is struggling with their own shit to like save them and to be there for them no matter
love them no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. What is it? Unconditional love.
Oh my God. That's why I was opening my mouth. I was going to say, or having unconditional love.
Unconditional love.
Oh my God. My mind is blown. Totally. Yeah. I hear this a lot. That's so important to love someone no matter what. Have unconditional love.
Unconditional love.
Like, why?
Not at the total destruction of yourself.
Of course. Yes.
No. Like, I think, you can, I mean, I would argue that you can have unconditional love for someone and choose to not chase them anymore.
Yeah, have unconditional in their love, but not unconditional relationships.
Exactly. Yeah, you can love someone from afar. And so I'll be running to my feet turn black. She's just saying like, this is destroying me. And if I keep doing this, like I'm never going to recover. And having that moment, that heartbreak of knowing you can't catch up with someone who's running away from you and that you finally have to put yourself first.
Yep.
Yeah. So beautiful. That's so beautiful, that chorus. So, do you want to talk about this one?
Well, yeah. So, so the next little verse is like the old man and the sea. I wasn't meant to take you in. I find when I'm without you, I'm with myself again. Yes. You're whispering in my ear. Your hands on me make it clear. So, first of all, I'm a Hemingway fan, and so I like the old man and the sea reference. And have you read it, Claire?
It's been years. So
I mean, it's a very visual novella, and so the thought comes to mind, of the man, just trying so hard to get the fish and then getting to the shore and it's just a skeleton. So I thought it was really, really good imagery. And then I really, really love the line, I find when I'm without you, I'm with myself again. And this is just something that I wish that so many people would realize, is that this relationship doesn't define you. In fact, it might be keeping you from your true self, really. And, maybe it's not, but if the relationship is unhealthy, then it is keeping you from your true self. And it can be really fun after a breakup to discover these things about yourself again.
Yeah.
I know that when I'm kind of an example, when I decided for sure that I was going to leave Australia, all of these things that I knew about myself and that I had enjoyed, I just like suddenly came back to me, and it was, fun. It can be a really good opportunity.
Yeah, completely. You're whispering in my ear, your hands on me make it clear.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting line. I'm wondering if what they mean to say by this is that they can still feel the person close to them. And so they know that because they can hear the whispering, they can hear the hands on them, that they know that it's really time to make a break, because it's still, it's still visceral and physical to them.
Yeah, it's so visceral and physical. Yeah. And yeah, it's really interesting because like the contrast between like I'm running after you and there's this sense of like distance between them, and yet I'm just saying he from
That's right.
me, you're whispering in my ear. He's close enough to whisper in her ear and to put his hands on him, and it's kind of like she's been chasing him and yet he's there. Maybe the you is not him. So I mean,
yeah, I did think that this was a little ambiguous. So
yeah, so I don't know. We're working on that one. If you have ideas, or if you're from Trousdale and you'd like to let us know,
oh man,
please tell us. Yeah, and then we just go back into the chorus. Maybe if I keep running to you, I'll be running till my feet turn black, to my lungs collapse, wouldn't come back. That's not how it goes.
Thank you, Claire. No, it's not a rap. But and then
not
one
a rap.
thing that I just thought that this was really bringing back the point that this relationship is not joyful.
Yeah.
And that this person knows it.
Yeah. Just, it's not bringing any positivity to her life. It's just like she's teetering on the edge of it, ruining her,
Yeah. So I thought this was beautiful decision. I love the song. And so Claire, what do you think about Wouldn't Come Back? Toxic or empowering?
I think it's empowering.
I think this might be the most, no, I like Daffodil Lament for empowering, but this is, I think, a very empowering breakup song.
Yes.
And yeah, kudos.
Yeah. It's empowering without negating the pain and suffering.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
And recognizing the relationship was real and that it's come to an end. And it needs to stay at an end.
So beautiful.
Yeah. So we hope that you enjoyed everything that we had to say about rituals. If you do a ritual that you feel comfortable taking a pic of and you want to tag us, I'd be thrilled. If you have had a breakup party, I want to hear from you.
Yeah, we want to know, and we want to go to the next one.
Yeah, if you're gonna have a Zoom,
we're inviting ourselves to parties now.
I will go to a Zoom breakup party.
Yes.
And so, one more thing before we end is to please mark your calendar. Claire and I are building our online community on Facebook at Breakups, Broken Hearts, and Moving On. And we will be doing live coaching there May 4th at 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So if you have a question you want us to ask because you're stage fright, let us know. Otherwise, please go and join the group, and you can go in and ask us questions and chit chat with us directly at that time.
Awesome. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to X-Files, a podcast about breakups, broken hearts, and moving on.
If you like this episode, tag us on your Instagram story so we can connect with you.
And you can find me, Claire, on Instagram at Claire Lofthouse.
And me, Janice, on Instagram at Janice Formicella. If you'd like to join our online community, find us on Facebook at Breakups, Broken Hearts, and Moving On.
And here's a preview of our next episode. Perhaps that whole thing was a learning experience for him, and he's now at another level. I'm still at the level where I don't forgive stuff like that, but perhaps one day I will have evolved higher than I am now. Who knows? But looking at the things that other people do around us, not as causes for frustration that they're not doing it how we want them to do it, but that they're doing it in the best way they know how at the time. And that may change in a month, in a year, in 10 years. That may change.